Okay, so I've got a couple more terms to show to you. The first one is standard form of a polynomial. So this first polynomial that we've got here, you'll notice that the exponents are 3, 1, and the exponent for this 1 right here is just a 0. So you'll notice that the exponents are actually decreasing. 3, 1, 0. I know I skipped the 2, but that doesn't matter. Just as long as they're all descending. That is what we call the standard form of a polynomial. Number 2, it's the same thing. They go downhill. 6, 2, 1, and then 0 for the 9. This third one here, it goes 1 and then 0. So these are all decreasing. These are all considered standard form of a polynomial. Now, besides the standard form, you can also talk about the leading coefficient of the polynomial. So this is just the coefficient that's attached to the highest degree term of the polynomial. So for that first example that we had, the 3 would be the leading coefficient. For the second one, it'd be the 5. And then for the last one, it'd be the -8. Those are the leading coefficients. Those are just the coefficient that's attached to the leading term, all right, the highest degree term. So I don't know how to say this, but you can also have the leading coefficient when it's not in standard form. So if you look at 5 minus 6x plus x to the third, it's not written in standard form, but it still has a leading coefficient. And in this case, it would be a 1. All right, the highest degree term is the 3, and it looks like there's no coefficient attached to it, so we say that it would be a 1. If it were a minus sign instead, it would be a -1. Okay? So what I want to do now is look at a few examples of polynomials, and we're going to classify them, determine if they're in standard form, and determine what the leading coefficient is. So 8x to the third power plus 5x minus 4. Okay, so first, is it in standard form? Yes. Standard form? Yes. What would be the leading coefficient? That would be the 8. All right, because it's the coefficient attached to the highest degree term. And let's call it, you'll notice it has 1, 2, 3 terms. So that would be considered a trinomial. And what's the highest power? The 3? Well, what did we call a degree 3 polynomial? A special name for it. If it was to the third power, we called it a cubic. So this is a cubic trinomial in standard form with a lead coefficient of 8. All right. So one more. Let's say we had -3x plus 2x squared minus 4. Well, right away, it's not in standard form because the degrees, they go 1, 2, and then 0. So it is not in standard form. We can look at the lead coefficient. The lead coefficient would be the 2 because that's the coefficient on the highest degree term. And let's look at, it's got 3 terms again, so it is a trinomial. And the highest degree is a 2, and we called those quadratic. All right, that's good for now.